In this video, we're going to be showing you how to install the Boost Auto Parts RZY harness. The RZY harness is used to add tow mirrors onto all 2014 1500s and early 2015 Silverado and Sierra trucks. Early 2015 trucks are designated by those trucks built on or before August of 2014. In addition to the RZY harness, you will need to install the Boost Auto Parts Modified Door Harness Kit. That installation procedure can be found in a separate Boost Auto Parts video. To get all the parts shown in this video, including tow mirrors and wiring harnesses, as well as other parts and accessories for your truck or SUV, check out our website at boostautoparts.com. Take a flathead screwdriver and depress at the top of the rubber boot and the door jamb connector to release it from the door jamb. Carefully pull back the rubber boot. There's a latch down at the bottom, so lift it up, pull straight back. And then you'll undo this purple latch on here. Now you're going to carefully go in there with a flathead screwdriver, and you'll just pull it back to the 90-degree flat position. Don't go too far, as you can break this clip. And then it'll just unplug. Take a trim tool and release this trim piece. Depress the parking brake fully. Remove any trim clips that need to be removed in order to access the back side of the door jamb connector. Pull the wiring harnesses out of the way. To release this door jamb connector, there's two tabs at the top. You'll just go ahead and take your hand, go in and depress those two tabs, and then the door jamb connector will just push into the door. Now you can just kind of move this harness out of the way, reach your hand into here, and then pull the connector straight down through. Now what you need to do is inspect this connector. You're mainly looking to see if 41 is loaded. Almost every single truck we've ever worked on has had 41 preloaded, which is the turn signal. So in this case, pin 41 is loaded. If pin 41 is already loaded, you will not be using the red wire with blue tracer or the red wire with green tracer on your harness. You can disregard any portion of the video that references this. Before installing the harness, make sure you understand which side is the driver's side and which side is the passenger side. The short end, nearest the three branches, is going to be the driver's side and needs to be installed on the driver's side. Take special note of this image before installing any terminals. On this gray door jamb connector, there's a little pink latch right here. You're going to go ahead and depress that. It'll move just slightly. That's going to unlock the terminals so that you can insert the new terminals provided by Boost Auto Parts. On the driver's side, the three wire colors will be blue, white, and red with a blue tracer. Again, if slot 41 is pre-landed, you will not be using the red wire with blue tracer. Now we're just going to go ahead and insert the terminals into the correct spot. When doing this, make absolute certain that you're going into the correct slot. Take the blue wire and go into slot 11. Take the white wire and go into slot 9. If slot 41 was empty, you'll place the red wire with blue tracer into slot 41. If it's not used, you're just going to go ahead and tape it back to the plastic tubing using some electrical tape. Once all the terminals are inserted, you'll go to the other side of the gray door jamb connector and you'll just press this pink latch, which will lock the terminals into place. When putting this gray door jamb connector back into place, you want to make sure that the orientation is proper. So at the bottom you should have two latches that'll latch down, and then at the top you'll have these two prongs that kind of hold it into place right up here. Place the gray door jamb connector back into position. Use both hands to guide it into place. Once you have the connector hooked down at the bottom, just push up on the back of it, and it will latch into place. Take the passenger end of the harness, so the harness end furthest away from what we've been working with, and feed it back behind the park brake cable over here. And then pull the entire harness slash through. When you get to the joint with the three different leads coming out, make sure that you carefully get those to pass through without pulling on it. We need to remove the nuts holding on this black box here on the driver's side. They're 10 millimeters. We'll go ahead and remove those. Then you're just going to remove the third one, which is all the way up at the top. Right over there. Gently pull the box off the stud slightly. Release the clips holding the cover on. There's 2 on the right side and then 1 on the left. You will be unlatching a connector on the back of this junction box right here. Now in this case you can see we've unplugged all the connectors on the front side. You do not need to do this. We've just done it for video purposes so we can get a little bit better access to show you what we're looking at. The connector you will be working with is on the back side of this junction block right here. And it's going to be this one towards the bottom right down here. So we're going to go ahead and unlatch the connector. To unlatch the connector, there'll just be 2 tabs right down at the blue latch. You'll just pinch these 2 tabs and then slide it straight up. Now we're showing you on the green connector here, but you're going to need to do this on the black connector on the back. Once that's up, you should just be able to pull the connector. So now again on the back side of the module, just depress these 2 tabs on the connector on this little blue latch here. And then you'll slide the blue latch all the way back. And then the connector should just unpull. Now you're going to take a T-tab provided by Boost Auto Parts and you're going to place it onto the white wire with violet stripe. This is going to be on pin 17. Pin 17 is located 4 rows down from the top, 1 over from the left. So again, you're going to go off of pin location as primary reference. This is on pin 17. And you're going to take the T-tab and you're going to go onto the white wire with violet tracer. You'll just get the wire into the jaw of the T-tab. Then you'll fold it over until you feel it click. If you need to, you can get some needle nose pliers and just squeeze it until it clips. Take the main part of the Boost Auto Parts RZY harness and place it beneath this junction box right here. Then what you're going to do is you're going to locate the single white disconnect provided on the Boost Auto Parts RZY harness. And you're going to take it and you're going to insert the disconnect into the T-tab. You want to make sure the metal from the disconnect slides directly into the middle of the T-tab and that the disconnect slides all the way forward. Take that black connector that goes on the back of the junction block and plug it back in. You have to perfectly align it before that blue lock can be latched. So once it's lined up, press it all the way in and then you can just slide the blue lock all the way down and lock it into place. In the driver's side underhood area, remove this bolt holding the cross member into place. And then slide the cross member out of the way. To remove this underhood fuse box, you're going to need to pull up on these levers. First, there's just these clips right over here. On each of them, you're just going to slide those out of the way. And then you can lift up on the lever. So there's 4 of them. And just again, pry out on each of them. And then these handles will just come straight together. And then you can just lift it up and off very carefully. You'll need to remove the black connector. To do so, you'll just pull this latch this way a little bit, slide the connector straight back, and then up and out. Begin by unwrapping the tape down here where the wires enter into the connector. And then once you've kind of pulled that tape back off this plastic, you can just take your hand and kind of slide this plastic cover up and off. Find the wire located in slot K6. These are labeled on the back side. If you're looking at the connector like this, it's going to be 3 rows down from the top, not counting this. So 1, 2, 3. And then on the far left hand side, again, it is labeled K6. In this case, it's a violet with a white tracer, but you want to go off pin location as primary reference. Again, this connector is labeled. Locate pin K6. Take the T-tab provided by Boost Auto Parts and place it onto that wire. Fold it over until you feel it snap. If you need to, you can take some needle nose pliers, go in and squeeze it. If the wire is not present in the black connector, you will need to locate the white connector directly next to it and release it. Then you need to locate the gray wire with brown stripe in slot K4. That's going to be this wire right here. Note that there are 2 gray with brown wires right near each other. Make sure you get the one in slot K4. That's going to be 3 rows down right over here, and then it's going to be 4 over from the right if you're looking at it from the back. So you can see that's going to be K4. You'll just go ahead and put your T-tap onto there. Included with the Boost Auto Parts RZY harness is this short blue lead right here. Now we're going to be installing this. You're going to have a disconnect on one side. That's going to slide into this T-tap that you placed on the slot K6. So you're just going to take the disconnect and slide it into the T-tap, making sure the metal from the disconnect slides directly into the T-tap and that the disconnect slides all the way forward. Take the wire and guide it out with the rest of the wires through the back of the connector here. Then take the plastic cap. Begin by latching it in the front. Again, making sure that wire is guided back. Snap the connector back together. Take some electrical tape and tape back over the back of the plastic guide again, just like it was before. Take the black connector and place it back into place. You'll see there's these two vertical guides and then there's two areas that they slide into. You'll line those up. Press it straight down and then slide it forward, it'll clip into place. Carefully align the underhood fuse box and latch it back into place. You're going to want to take any firm piece of metal. In this case, we've taken a clothes hanger and just straightened it out. And you're going to take the end of this blue wire and just tape it to this clothes hanger so that we can push it into the cab of the truck. You need to tape this nice and tight. You're going to take your coat hanger, and we're right up here on the driver's side firewall. There's this little nipple at the top of this rubber boot here. You're just going to take the coat hanger and poke it through there. And go ahead and guide it into the cab. When that wire comes through, it's going to come back behind this junction block right back here. And you can see there's a little rubber boot straight up over here. You have to reach your hand up and kind of pull it down. You can see we have ours right down here. So just go ahead and untape it, and then we'll have our wire. After you've pulled all the tape off, just completely disconnect the blue wire from the coat hanger. Once you've disconnected the wire in the cab of the truck, you'll just pull your coat hanger back out. You just want to kind of get the wire loom as close to the entrance to the rubber boot as possible, and then just tape it off with some electrical tape. Reinstall the bolt holding on the cross member. Now you're going to take the blue wire that you poked from the underhood and just strip the end of it off. Then you're going to place it into the blue butt connector that came off the main harness. So you'll take the two blues, place them together. And then once they're together, you go ahead and crimp it down. Now these are heat shrink butt connectors, so you'll just go ahead and heat the butt connector down. Now if you did not originally have the wire in slot 41, you're going to need to remove the brown and black BCM connectors. That's going to be located right down here. So locate the brown and black connectors. There's just a little latch on the bottom side, so just depress the latch and then the connector can be removed. Now what you need to do is you need to locate the wire in slot 3 of the black BCM connector. If you're looking at it from the back, it's going to be 3 over from the top left. It should be a green wire with a purple stripe. So go ahead and locate that. Then you're going to take your T-tap provided by Boost Auto Parts, place the wire straight into the jaws of the T-tap, then you'll just fold the T-tap over until you feel it latch. If necessary, you can take some needle nose and squeeze it. Then you're going to go ahead and take the red wire with green stripe that has the disconnect on it, and you're going to plug it into the T-tap, making sure the metal from the disconnect slides directly into the T-tap and that the disconnect slides fully forward. Now what you want to do is you want to locate the blue wire with white tracer in this brown connector. If you're looking at it from the back, it's going to be in the top row, 1 over from the left. You're going to take your T-tap provided by Boost Auto Parts, place the wire directly into the jaws of the T-tap, fold it over until you feel it latch. Then you'll just go ahead and take the red wire with blue tracer from the Boost Auto Parts RZY harness and slide the metal from the disconnect directly into the T-tap, making sure the metal from the disconnect slides directly into the middle and that the disconnect slides all the way forward. Then you'll just go ahead and plug your BCM connectors back in. You should hear and feel them latch. Make sure the wires are coming out of the side of the junction block, then place the junction block back onto the studs so that it's held into place, and replace the nuts. Take the junction block cover and snap it back into place. Carefully tie the wires up out of the way with the provided zip ties and run the passenger side wires across the dash to the passenger side. Now you can see we ran the coat hanger from the driver's side over to the passenger side, right like this. We've taped the wires to it. Now we're going to carefully pull the wires from the driver's side over to the passenger side. This is usually easiest with two people, one kind of guiding the wires and then another person kind of pulling on the other side. Remove the passenger trim panel. Tuck the wire into this trim area right down here and guiding it over to the passenger side area. Release the door boot the same way as the driver's side and undo the pink latch. There are a couple 7mm bolts holding on this shroud. We've taken out a couple of them just to get a little bit of flex out of this so that we can get access to the connector on the back side. Release the connector into the door jamb by pressing the top two latches, and then you're going to grab it from the inside. On the passenger side, it's going to be much easier if you kind of pull back some of the splashing right here, and you can kind of reach in with your hand and just go ahead and pull it out. You will need to release this clip that holds the harness into place right over here. Begin by releasing the purple latch. Locate slot 11 and place the blue wire into it. Then place the white wire into slot 9. If you did not originally have a wire in slot 41, take the red wire with green tracer and place it into slot 41. In this case, there's already a wire there, and most of the time there will be, so we just will not use this. If you did not use the red wire with green tracer, you'll just go ahead and tape it back straight up here. Once all your terminals are inserted, you'll go ahead and replace the purple latch. Then we're going to be putting the gray door jamb connector back into place. Now when you insert it in, it's really important that you begin by getting it the correct orientation. You want these hooks to be facing down, because when it goes into the door jamb, you're going to hook it down and then slide it forward. Begin by hooking the latch at the bottom and then slide it forward at the top. Now if you removed any of these 7mm holding this down, go ahead and bolt those back up and just tuck any excess wire up into this area right here. Reinstall the trim piece on both the driver and passenger side. Line the door jamb connector up, slide it together until it's fully up, then slide the pink latch to the fully up and locked position. Then you can go ahead and put the rubber boot on. First you need to latch the bottom down, and then you can slide the top forward. Perform this same procedure to reinstall the door boot on the driver's side. Utilize the provided zip ties to tie your harness up out of the way in various spots. Please be sure to reference the Boost Auto Parts video for modifying your door harness in order to complete the rest of the wiring on your truck. After the RZY and the modified door harness are complete, your running lights, cargo lights, and turn signals will all work properly. To get all the parts shown in this video, as well as other parts and accessories for your truck or SUV, check out our website at boostautoparts.com. Here is a basic drawing you can print out and use when installing this harness. We do recommend following the video at the same time.